Hello everyone and welcome to another video. Today I'm going to look at different methods to curling short hair. So I've been growing out my short hair for a few months now. I would say that it's nearly a bob and it's layered and I've got a fringe. And I think it's just about long enough to try curling it now that it's got a bit longer and I might be able to do so. So in today's video I am going to be evaluating 3 methods and hopefully finding a way that is best for my hair type at this moment. So in this video I started with slightly damp hair and putting my hair into little plaits and sleeping in that overnight in order to have wavy hair in the morning. I actually found this more difficult than I had expected because my hair is still layered and there were little sections at the end of each hair section that I couldn't plait because of the layers. However, I know that this isn't an issue with longer hair, but nonetheless, as plaiting hair is quite easy and just requiring essentially hands and hair ties, I wanted to see if this method was still useful with the length of my hair at the moment. So I continued creating little plaits over the entirety of my head. And as you can probably tell by the indoor lighting, it's evening, so I went to bed soon after this and slept in these plaits. So here I am taking out the plaits the next morning. I found that the tighter plaits had made very nice waves, but overall it was generally a lot more frizzier than I expected. It wasn't quite the neat waves I was looking for, but it certainly has volume. Then I wanted to look at different ways to style this, so I thought pinning back the fringe was a good place to start. However, as you can see by this section here, it is not a foolproof method to curling hair. Another possible hairstyle is tying it half up. I've got it in a little bun at the back, my hair just about reaches the top of my head. And another variation of this would be to essentially split that in half and have 2 pigtails at the top of your head. I was just doing it roughly here and didn't properly scrape back the hair, so not the neatest, but then I thought it would be a good idea to brush the hair out. Big mistake, it just, well, you can see what's happening. Let's just say it's not the most flattering. I do not recommend brushing out your hair unless you're really going for that electrocuted frizzy look. But anyway, I just decided to pin it back just to keep my fringe out of my eyes, and I'm still in lockdown so no one's going to see me anyway. So it's been about 7 hours now. I look a lot better when my layers have grown out. It's much more frizzier than I expected it to be. My hair is definitely still wavy and voluminous. It's the next day, which I'm really quite surprised by. I still can't figure out a reason why it stayed in so long. But I've decided to try something that I've never done before. I'm going to try and curl my hair. Does that do anything?
Oh, I've got a little ringlet. Right, so new plan, I'm deciding that I'm going to section my hair because I can't actually access it underneath. How do you curl the back of your hair when you can't see what you're doing? It's not going very well. I can smell my hair burning.
So let me just speak through the process of me curling my hair. It was quite alright to do, although I was very concerned that the hot plates of the hair straightener would actually touch my scalp and burn me. But I tried to be as safe as possible and tried to not burn my skin, although my hair definitely had a burning smell coming off of it. I think we can tell that this is the first time curling my hair. It's another bird nest. I didn't quite get ringlets, but I don't think my hair's going to be long enough for that. But honestly, the left side's really good. I really like it. I'm not quite sure how the back's going. You can really tell where I haven't fully curled my hair. The back was really hard to do. I'm not sure how people do that. I know that people curl and straighten their hair. Some people do it quite a lot, and honestly, props to you because I couldn't really do it. I like how the left side turned out. It's got quite like defined curls. I kind of stayed with an actual trying to curl the motion with a hair straightener. Not sure if that was the best thing to do. There was so much steam coming off of the actual hair straightener, so my hair's probably quite burnt. My hair took a full 25 minutes. I think that's probably the longest I've ever spent styling my hair. So it's quite long. Although, of course, I think with practice, as with anything, it would definitely get quicker and better, hopefully. Then, whatever possessed me to brush my hair, I do not know, but it certainly was not a good idea. It was not worth it, as it completely obliterated any curls I had. Then I saw how I was destroying my curls with that brush and tried to use my fingers to recurl my hair again. Clearly all making complete sense. So welcome to the part of the video where I tried to put my hair into little ringlets. So I'm starting with brushing my hair so I can try to get out any knots that I can. Then I've taken a hair tie and taken a section of my hair and twist it as far down the section of hair I can. And I didn't do it particularly here, but try to direct the section of hair in the way you want it to sit when you take it out in the morning, because I directed it quite upwards and that's the way it would try to sit. So I wish I had directed it more to the side. But anyway, I then took the section of the hair and twisted it into a mini bun and put a hair tie around it to secure it in place.
There was a little section, as you can see, sticking out, which sometimes I would take a second hair tie and put another one around it to put that into place. But anyway, I repeated the mini bun making for the entirety of my head. My hair was still slightly damp, as you can probably see,
which I did in the hope that it would set better. I then repeated this process for the entirety of my head, which I will speed through now. So taking out the next morning was easy enough, and as previously mentioned, they sit in the way that I had already placed them the night before, which is why I think it's looking a little bit wild at the moment. I decided to clip my fringe back in the hope that it would improve the way my hair looks, and then I also had to separate each section of hair a few more times, which I do with my fingers this time and not a brush.
the hair has held up pretty well. It's very voluminous. It's definitely got a bit more shape to it now. I ran my fingers through it like this, not with a comb, but just to kind of separate the actual ringlets a little bit more. And yeah, it's pretty good. Actually, I wish that I'd because like for example, when curling this bit of hair, I had directed it kind of here forward or a bit to the side, but instead I should have done it back here, going back, and then therefore it would have laid flat, because actually it's just kind of sticking off the back. But no, it's flattened out a little bit now, and I'm very happy with it. So the way I'm going to be evaluating my hair is using a number system. The notes I've taken down and what categories I've kind of written are the way my hair looks, if it has done any damage to my hair, how long it took, how easy it was to do, and how comfortable it was to make or wear. I'm rating all the categories out of 5, with 5 being the best and 1 being the worst. So between look for the 3 styles of hair, I thought that the ringleted hair was the best looking, followed by the heat, although I haven't had very much practice at it, so I'm sure that it would get better with time. Plaiting, I thought it didn't look bad, but it was definitely the worst out of the 3. That's because my hair, I feel, is still too layered to be plaiting, because I couldn't plait all the way down the hair strands, so they were like chunks left at the end that weren't plaited. As far as damage, I can't see any damage that would be done with either plaiting your hair or putting your hair in ringlets. However, with heat, I know that heat does damage your hair, and I didn't use any heat protective spray or anything like that. As for time, curling my hair with heat was definitely the longest by far. It took me about 25 minutes to do, which for me is quite a bit longer than I would ever spend doing my hair. However, plaiting my hair took about 15 minutes, and putting my hair into ringlets took about 10. In terms of how easy it was to do all 3 hairstyles, I don't think any of them were particularly too hard. I would say that plaiting was a little bit harder to do than putting my hair into ringlets. And finally, for comfort, I thought the plaits were the most comfortable to do, as they were quite comfortable to sleep in. The heat could burn yourself, so ringlets were uncomfortable to sleep in, whereas plaits were not. So in conclusion, here are the stats if you would like them from what I rated each of them. In 3rd place was using heat to curl my hair, and in 2nd place was the plaits, and the best one I thought was using ringlets to curl your hair. So the 3rd method I used to curl my hair, I thought it looked really good, it didn't damage my hair, it was the quickest to do, and that's why I thought it was the best method for my hair at this point in time.
Thank you for watching.
And maybe I'll make some more videos about my hair. Goodbye.